Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time we'll be doing a beautiful set of long red nails. We are doing a fill as well as some repairs. So first thing that I'm doing is I'm going in with a coarse drill bit to file down the nails that are broken. So again, this is a coarse drill bit. I'm just removing the gel polish and then I'm filing them down. That way we don't have so much to soak off. You do want to make sure that you do those first. That way they soak while you do the rest of the nails. Alrighty, so now I'm going to use cotton ball and acetone and a clip, and we're going to put that over the nail, and we're just going to let that soak for as long as we need to. Usually by the time I finish removing the polish from all of the other nails, these will be ready to go. But again, you do want to make sure that you do those first. That way they soak while you're working. And once we do the cotton ball with the acetone on this one, we're going to just go ahead and remove the gel polish from the rest of the nails. Alrighty, so again, we're going to go in and just remove the gel polish from the rest of the nails. And also remember that if you're using a coarse drill bit, that you make sure that it's a safety one, just because you want to make sure that you don't cut anybody with this one since it's so coarse. And then also you might be wondering why she has 3 broken nails. It's only because of her job. She has to pick up a lot of stuff, and then I have to keep reminding her like, hey, your nails are long, so stop picking up with your nails and picking them up with your hands, because that's how you break your nails. And that's one thing that you have to remember when you wear long nails. Your nails are not tools. Don't try to open something up with your nail. Do it with your finger. So that's why, she had 3 broken nails. But again, we're just removing the polish and we'll be back. Alrighty, so once all of the polish is removed, we're going to go in with a cuticle pusher and we're just going to push those cuticles back. The one that I'm using is actually a Tammy Taylor edger, which is really not a cuticle pusher, but I use it as a cuticle pusher. Next, I'm going to go in with a fine sanding band and we're going to be removing the shine from the natural nail. As always, you're filing just to remove the shine. You're not filing to thin the nail out, literally just to remove the shine from the natural nail. After that, we're just going to dust the nails off and we're going to go in with the primer. As always, I'm using my OPI Bondex, and as you guys know, the reason why I use this one is because I have a lot of it, but if you have one that matches your product, that is fine. After this, we're going to go in with my Mia Secret acrylic system, and I'm using my alpha brush. And remember, when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you don't work with too much product. Look at your nail from different angles. If you have a little lump that you have to fill in, that's fine. Go back and do that. But look at your nail from different angles and only add product where it's needed. And as always, make sure that you go back around that cuticle area and clean it off, making sure that you don't have any product on the skin. Alrighty, so same thing for the other nails. You place your bead closer to the cuticle area, pat it down into place, brushing it down towards the tip, and then cleaning around the cuticle area. And then again, look at your nail from different angles. If you need to add more closer to the tip, that's fine. Just go back and add it only where it's needed. And I cannot stress that enough, but this will help you save time from having to file a lot, because if you add a lot of product, you're gonna have to file a lot at the end. So again, make sure you work smarter and not harder. turn your client's finger to the sides. See if you need to add more. If you do, go ahead and add it. If you don't, just move on to the other finger. Again, place the bead closer to the cuticle area, pat it down into place, and just brushing it down towards the tip. Really simple. You're also making sure that when you're brushing it down towards the tip, you're not brushing too hard, because you still want most of the product to stay right there by that cuticle area, and you want to make sure that you have a nice stress area. If you brush too hard, you're going to be brushing all that product down towards the tip, and you're going to have a big chunky tip. So again, make sure you brush it down really gently. It's kind of like you're just feathering it down. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and move over to the other hand. As you can see, we still have the clips on the nails, and we're just going to let them soak till we finish doing the acrylic, and then we'll come back to it. That way we don't have to do so much work. But again, we're just placing the acrylic closer to the cuticle area, brushing it down towards the tip. If you need to add more, that's fine. It's the same thing over and over and over again. The steps are always going to be the same. It's just a matter of practicing to perfect your application. But if you're not able to do it, as smoothly at first, again, do not get discouraged, because it only gets better with time. It's not something that's going to come to you after doing it one time or two times. It's a long process, but you just have to be patient. You have to practice, and that's really the key. Okay, so we finished applying the acrylic. So now we're going to go back to the other nails. I'm going to go in with the quartz drill bit and just file off the acrylic that's over the top of the nail that's already soaked off. Again, I'm just following the acrylic, so I'm not actually just following their natural nail with this quartz drill bit. After that, we're going to go in with our sanding band to remove the shine from the natural nail. So same steps, again, just removing the shine. After this, we would apply the nail tips. And to apply the nail tips, I'm going to be using my KDS glue. And as always, when you're sizing nail tips, remember that if one's too big or too small, always go with the bigger one and just follow it down on the sides to make it fit perfectly. Because if you glue the smaller one down, it's going to crack or it's going to eventually lift. And when you're applying it, just make sure you apply the glue on the tip, hold it down on their finger, and just wait until it dries. Usually it dries pretty fast. Just hold it down for a few seconds and that's it. Also make sure that you're holding their finger while you're applying it. That way it's nice and straight. So once the nails are on, we're going to go ahead and cut them down to the desired length, or we're just going to match them up with the other ones. and I'm going in with a tip cutter, and then as always just go back and measure them against each other to make sure that they're the same size. After this, I'm going to go in with my nail clipper to cut down the sides, and this is just to save me time whenever I'm working. As you guys know, I always try to find little things like this that's going to kind of speed up the process, and that's the only way to do it. And as you can see, I'm having a pretty hard time because these nail tips are pretty strong. But I'm going to go in with my 100 nail file, and I'm just going to shape it up into a coffin shape. As always, when we're doing this, we file the sides at a 45-degree angle and file the free edge at a 90 degrees angle to make sure that it's nice and straight. So after this, we're going to go in and just blend the tip right in the middle where the natural nail and the tip meets. But as you can see, I'm not doing this with my file. I'm going to go back and do it with the drill because these nail tips are pretty thick and it's just harder to do. Alrighty, so here, this is where I'm going in with the sanding band to just blend the tip into the natural nail. And the reason why I use a sanding band again is because they're pretty thick, so it's harder to do with the hand file. So after this, we're going to go ahead and dust them off, apply the primer, and then apply the acrylic. Alrighty, so for the acrylic application, it's going to be the same process that I always do. Dip my brush into the liquid, into the powder, place my bead right in the middle where the natural nail and the tip meets, and then I just brush it down towards the tip. And again, I'm using my Alpha brush, which I do have a promo code for, which is Natalie 10, Natalie 10, and you'll get a discount. So again, we're brushing it down towards the tip. The next one will be right below that first one. Again, brushing it down towards the tip, and this is to make sure that we have a nice thick nail or nail tip or strong nail tip. And then after this, as you can see, I'm just feathering it down and cleaning around the cuticle area. Next, I'm going to apply another one right above that first and second one, closer to the cuticle, brushing it down towards the tip again. And then as you can see, I'm just brushing it a lot and also cleaning my brush off a lot on a paper towel, which is really important because you don't want that acrylic stuck on your brush. So you want to clean your brush off a lot as you're working. So now I'm just going to apply another one closer to the tip. As always, look at your nail from different angles. I cannot stress this enough because even if you stick to the 4-ball method, you know, one ball might not be as thick as you needed it to. So you might not have a good stress area. So you need to go back and apply some more where you see that you need it. But say maybe you apply 2 beads and you have a nice stress area, you have a nice, you know, thickness on your tip, then you can move on. But you do have to keep in mind that you have to have a nice stress area, and you also have to have a nice thickness, you know, for your free edge to make sure that your nail does not break off. But again, same process. Alrighty, so now we're going to go ahead and reshape the nails. So I'm using my same 100 nail file, and we are literally just reshaping the nails. As you guys know, after wearing nails for so long, they kind of take away the shape from just, doing everyday things like picking stuff up. Your nails kind of lose its shape. So we're just going back to redefine that shape. This is a 100 nail file, and then as you can see, we're filing the sides at a 45-degree angle and then the free edge at a 90-degree angle. And we're just going to do that for the rest of the nails, and I'll be back. Alrighty, so after we finish reshaping the nails, we're going to go in with our e-file again, and I'm going to be using a fine drill bit. As you guys know, I always focus around that cuticle area first and then filing the rest of the nail to make sure that it's nice and smooth. But again, you just go back and forth around that cuticle area. I always start on the right side, going around to the left side, and just filing the rest of the nail after that. You want to make sure that you seal that cuticle area really good, because if not, you will get lifting. So again, you start on the right side, working your way around to the left side, just go back and forth. And usually the way that I know if I followed enough, because I get that question a lot, is basically if I'm able to see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way I know that the acrylic is not on the skin. And this is really, really important, because I promise you, no matter how good you apply your acrylic, no matter how much filing you think you've done, if you do not file that cuticle area really good, you will still get water underneath the nails and it will lift. So make sure that you're doing this really good. And again, same thing as everything else, it does take a bit of practice to perfect this, to be able to prevent lifting. I know it's one of the hardest things from doing acrylic nails. It's really embarrassing when you do it set and their nails come off the next day or so. So make sure that you're doing this stuff correctly. Even if you have to spend a little bit more time, make sure that you go back and look at each nail to make sure that it's nice and sealed. So we're going to go ahead and do this for all of the nails. Again, this is a fine drill bit, and I will be leaving all of the links in the description to the things that I'm using. Alrighty, so after we finish filing the nails, I'm going to go in with a buffer. And this is just to make sure that the nails are nice and smooth, that we don't have any scratches on the nail. Because if you skip this step and you just polish the nails, you will be able to see those scratches over the polish. So again, we're just buffing all of the nails. And then after this, we're going to come back and dust them off and wipe them off as well. Alrighty, so now I'm going to go in with my alcohol wipes and just wipe off the nail to make sure that we get any of the dust off. After this, we're just going to start our polish application. So again, for this set, as you've seen by the picture, we're going to be doing a set of red nails. So I'm using my favorite red polish, which is the color Dragonfire by La Palm. As you guys know, I used to buy these polishes from my local nail supply store, but they stopped selling them, so I'll look for the website and put it down in the description. And the ring finger was actually the regular polish, and the rest of the nails will be gel polish. As you guys know, I use regular polish for nails when I do the bling on the full nail, but the rest of the nails, it's going to be bling but not the full nail. So again, I'm using the regular polish for the ring fingers and then gel polish for the rest of the fingers. And again, this is in the color Dragonfire, which is my all-time favorite red polish. If you do not know, now you know. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and do this on all the nails. And then as you can see, I'm going in with an OPI gel brush to clean around the cuticle area. You can use any small brush that you have, and we're gonna cure each hand for 30 seconds in between each coat. So we're going to let that one cure for 30 seconds, and we're going to do the same thing on this hand. We're doing full rhinestones on the ring finger, which is the regular polish, and then gel polish on the rest of the nails. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and do a second coat on all of the nails. And as you guys know, the ring finger is regular polish, which is why I skipped it. And the reason why I do regular polish whenever I do a full nail of rhinestones is because I honestly feel like the bling just stay on longer on regular polish if it's a full nail of rhinestones. So that's why I always only do one coat. But again, we're doing a second coat of this color, and then we're going to cure for another 30 seconds, and we're going to do the same thing on the other hand. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna go in with my bling. I'm gonna be using my hard gel to apply a bigger piece. So I'm just gonna place it on the nail. I'm gonna pick up that bigger piece, which is one of my 3D pieces, placing it right in the middle, closer to the cuticle area. I'm gonna let that cure for like 60 seconds. I'm going to do the same thing on the other hand. And this one is actual hard gel, so you do have to cure it. And I'll go ahead and cure them at the beginning. That way they don't move around while I do the other bling around that one. So I'm going to go ahead and place that one under the light too. And now we're going to go in with the Mia Secret Gel Resin. And I'm going to just fill in the rest of the nail with the smaller red rhinestones. And as always, you guys know that I use my wax pencil. And then this is a mixture of different sizes as far as the red ones. So I'm not sure what size. I'm pretty sure it's like, it says 6, 12, 14. They're all pretty, you know, good mixture. And we're just going to fill in the rest of the nail. As you guys know, I just alternate between different sizes. Just working my way around the perimeter of the nail. And then just filling in the center as I go. And then you just apply more glue as you need it as well. So I sprayed that nail with the activator. So now same thing for this one. We're just going to fill in the rest of the nail with the small red rhinestones. Alrighty, so now for the rest of the nails, we're going to still do more bling, but it's not going to be full nails. So I'm going to be using a mixture of my AB SS6 and the red ones. And the AB ones are basically like the silver ones, these that I'm using, the ones that I always use. And again, we're going to still add a little bit of red in there with them. Again, I am going to be spraying them with the activator, and each nail is going to be a different design. As you can see, the other one I just did was just right in the middle. This one will be like across the nail. And again, I'm just mixing up the rhinestones. I'm adding some red, silver, just changing it up on each nail. And as always, just apply your glue. Pick up the rhinestones with your wax pencil, place them wherever you want, and just keep adding glue if you need to, and that's pretty much it. As always, I use my Mia Secret gel resin, which is the glue that I use for my rhinestones. I get that question asked a lot, so we're just gonna finish applying the bling and I'll be back. Alrighty, so for the pinky, we're just going to do a few around the cuticle area. And then for the thumb, we're going to do like an ombre effect. So again, same thing, just apply your glue wherever you want your bling. And then just start filling in or applying your bling. Alrighty, so now I'm going to spray them with the activator, and as you guys know, I always use the activator when I use my Mia Secret gel resin because it is thicker than regular glue, so which means that it's going to take a little bit longer to dry. But if you use the activator, it just instantly dries that glue. It's like it basically freezes the glue into place. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and do the other hand. Again, we're just switching up the rhinestone designs on each finger, but we're using the same glue, same everything. Alrighty, so after that, we're going to go in with my IBD gel top coat. As you guys know, this is the one that I always use, and it's really shiny, and it is a non-cleansed top coat. And I know I always have people looking for a good top coat, and I highly recommend this one. So after we finish applying the top coat, we're going to go ahead and let them cure for 60 seconds. Alrighty, so we're going to let this one cure for another 60 seconds. And here is the final look. That red is just so pretty. And those rhinestones are just so pretty as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at GetNail32. And I'll see you guys next time.